My name is Patrick. I play guitar in Thron. I'm the main songwriter in Thron, and we are a band founded in Germany at the border to France and Switzerland, near Basel. Basel, yeah. That's where we come from. We have members from Genève and Bern and Germany, so we are a bit widespread. We play a kind of black metal, death metal influenced music, heavily influenced by 90s death black metal, but also contemporary, atmospheric, progressive stuff. They're hard to tell. Yeah, it's the first time for me here as a visitor and as an artist. So yesterday I felt a bit lost. We arrived yesterday evening and it was a pure chaos and it was getting dark and it was a struggle to find our place and sleeping place, etc. And it's huge, but I know these big festivals from Germany as well, like Wacken or Summer Breeze. You have to get used to it. You need a couple of hours to get used to all that. So, yeah, but I like it. Everyone is really friendly and it's cool. Yeah, we are happy to be here. Yeah, not yet. But I will. I want to watch a few bands like Chelsea Wolf and Brutus and Dismember, Metallica, Mr. Bungle, Bruce Dickinson. I like the first Metallica albums, and I grew up with Metallica, so playing guitar, learning to play guitar to Metallica songs in the 80s. I saw Metallica for the last time on their tour for the Black Album, and since then I didn't see them live. So it is more than 30 years ago, and I want to watch them. But I'm more into the smaller bands, which I want to watch. If I had to choose between Chelsea Wolf and Metallica, I would go for Chelsea Wolf. So. So Metallica is a cool nostalgic thing for me, but it's not like my contemporary taste, you know. I don't come from a musical family, but in school when I was 13, 14 years old, there were some older guys and they wore these jackets, battle vests and shirts with the patches on it, and it was like, what is that, you know? And then I looked up to them. They were like, you know, and I was this small kid, and what is that? Yeah, that's heavy metal, and oh, interesting. So they started to give me tapes, you know, with Iron Maiden and Halloween and Running Wild and Metallica, and Metallica was like, oh, this is really, really heavy. And then they gave me tapes by Slayer and Napalm Death. And first I didn't understand this, you know, but and then my wish was to play guitar like James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett. So with 14, my parents got me a guitar. With 15, I started a band where we played covers of Mercyful Fate and Metallica and Slayer and stuff like that. So, but within 1 or 2 years, my taste got more extreme. Yeah. So the whole death metal thing exploded in 1990, 1989, Morbid Angel, Death, Dismember, Entombed. I was totally into that. We were playing death metal. 2 years later, the black metal scene exploded. I loved that too. So within 3 or 4 years, I was totally on everything which is extreme. And later on, I liked or started to love bands like King Crimson and Pink Floyd and the whole progressive thing, and that's actually my whole influences, like heavy metal, and I also love Radiohead, for example, you know, and so it's a big mixture of it's a lot influenced, you have to say, by old Swedish and Norwegian bands. Swedish mainly like Dissection, Necrophobic, Nagelfar, Sacramentum Dawn. That was the reason we started that band, to sound like these bands, but like after one album this wasn't enough for me, you know. I didn't want to be a copycat or just tribute band. I wanted to be more my own, and I think we we are on the way to reach this, that we have a bit of an own style and not just be a copy of some things. Let me just tell you, I play in another band too, which is more a progressive rock band. And in that band, it only works when we are together in a room. Then we can write songs when we're all in a room. With Thron, totally the opposite. I sit in my basement studio, like a small studio, and I jam on my guitar. And when I like something, I can immediately record it and program drums and play the bass and maybe even do some vocal tests on it, And I can arrange a whole song like that in a day or in a week, or sometimes it takes a month. And when it's ready, I send it to the other guys. What do you think of that? Do you like that? Do you have ideas for a change? Most of the time they don't have wishes. They like it most of the time. They like it from how I sent it to them. And when I have like 10, 15 songs written, everyone records her parts at home. So our drummer has an own studio, I have an own studio, our vocalist has an own studio. So we have to do it like that. Because with my other band, we all live in the same place. So we meet every week, drink a beer and jam. But with Thron, doesn't work like that. And what I like is that I can write songs when I feel like it. I'm not dependent on other people. I mean, I have kids, I have a job, so I don't have all the time in the world. But sometimes it's Sunday morning at 8, and my kids are sitting in front of the TV, and my wife is still sleeping. And then, I have an idea. I go down in my basement. And maybe 2 hours later, I have a song. So I'm not dependent on other people and don't have to wait for them, and that's the big plus. It's hard to give an advice because I'm very often at the point where I ask myself, how can I do all of this? And I only know that there is this thing in me that I have to do it. I can't tell a reason, And my wife, she's also. I met my wife 20 years ago, also at a show of my band, So she knows, and she supports me. And sometimes it's very hard. Back then, she was always with us with my old band, She was doing merch, she was driving. We were together, but since the kids are there, the kids are 10 and 5. So very often she can come, and it's hard sometimes. But she knows that I have to do this, And I work. I'm a social worker and a teacher, so I work also a lot. But she knows if this would be taken away from me, it would be hard, And my family totally supports me. But it's often, our children were sick a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh no, I hope they're not sick when Hellfest is, so I have to leave my wife with the sick children, But they are okay, fine now, But an advice, it's hard. It's hard. I think I'm texting my daughter, how are you and stuff, and actually I should be here 100%, but it doesn't work that much because I miss them, and even if I'm away for 2 days or so, I miss them. But I love to give you an advice how to keep the passion, but I only know I have the passion, but I don't know why. I only know it has to be. It's like you have to breathe or to eat or to drink to survive. I have to do it, Sometimes when I had a hard work day and I'm really stressed, and then my wife says, "Hey, why don't?" But my wife is a psychologist, and she's like, "Hey, why don't you go down in the basement and write a song?" And and then it was maybe the best idea to do that, and all my is going out, my. How do you say that? My Anspannung, my tension. I can let it out, and so that was great. I saw Amon Amarth 20 years ago a couple of times because my good friend of mine, he was back then doing a DVD for them, and I saw them how they got bigger, how they, and then I didn't follow it that much because it's not really my kind of music, and then there was this, hey, do you want to play with Amon Amarth? 2 shows in France, and we were like, okay, yes, yes. And then we came there, didn't know what to expect, and everyone was super cool and friendly, like the band itself and all their crew, because I have also a lot of bad experiences with being the small support band for big bands. They treat you like shit sometimes, But Amon Amarth crew, they were like, hey, is the size of the stage okay for you? Isn't it too small? And we were like, okay, this is like twice the size of what we usually, and we were like, hey, cool, yeah, and here we take everything. Here's the catering and stuff, and so it was so cool, so friendly, and we were sitting in the catering. Amon Amarth was sitting there, and we don't want to disturb them because we don't go there. Hey. We said hi, and then later they came to us. And they were talking, and that they loved our last album so much, and I didn't expect that because I thought it was only between management and labels. I didn't know. I thought they. I thought they don't know us. It's just between managements and so. But they knew us, and they watched our show. And the drummer, he was like, "Hey, I love you guys." And I was like, oh, "Okay, nice." And then there was it's a bit sad story. The father of our bass player, he had cancer, and it was short before his 60th birthday, and the father is a big Amon Amarth fan. So our bass player asked Amon Amarth to film a video message for his father, like, hey, happy birthday to you, Carl, whatever. Yeah. So they did this, was super nice, and 3 weeks later the father died of cancer, and it was really, and he was
really beautiful gift.
It was a beautiful gift. He was really moved by, yeah. So, but the whole experience with Amon Amarth was great. The audience was great. We didn't expect the audience be so, often if you have a small support band, the audience, going to the toilet or getting a beer, but the room was crowded. They were like cheering. So we're playing a couple of summer festivals like Summer Breeze, Baden im Blut. Baden im Blut is in our area with Paradise Lost, Seelen Ardor, Uada and stuff, bands like that. It's made by some friends of us, this festival, and some more shows in winter and autumn. And then I concentrate on the new album, on the writing of a new album. Yeah.